A very warm welcome to you on Parliamentary News. I am Vivian Idekwefo. First, the headlines. Niger Delta Development Commission presents to Senate budget proposal of 876 billion naira for 2023 fiscal year. Senate charges security agencies to review and strengthen surveillance across Nigeria. Plus, minority members, House of Representatives resolve to select from within candidates to vie for Speaker and Deputy Speaker of 10th Assembly. And now to the details. The Niger Delta Development Commission, NDDC, has presented before the Senate Committee on Niger Delta for scrutiny a budget proposal of 876 billion naira for the 2023 fiscal year. National Assembly correspondent Dayo Ogunshola reports.
The consolidated budget proposal has components from 2021, 2022 and the 2023 fiscal year projected to be used for completion of ongoing capital projects. Managing Director of NDDC assures the committee that part of the renewed strategies devised by the Commission is fiscal reform to regulate overhead costs.
Accordingly, only activities that are tied to measurable programs will be approved. We are confident that the benefits of forensic audit report have started bringing about efficient and effective service delivery in the Commission.
From the board.
For the committee, the management of NDDC must avoid bickering with its board.
Because we would not want again this time around for the dividends development that is due to our people to be derailed because of infighting between the management and the board.
Mr. Chairman, you can use your initiative to see how you can set up a technical committee to interface directly with the Niger Delta Development Commission management, with your distinguished senators and the secretary, and to see anything we can do.
The budget proposal is the first from the current management, inaugurated in January this year. From the National Assembly, Dayo Ogunshola, NTA News.
The Senate has called on security agencies to review and strengthen their surveillance across the country. National Assembly correspondent Ignatius Nkwo reports that Senate at plenary also approved the restructuring of Ways and Means of 22.7 trillion naira as requested by the President.
Senator Istifanus Gyang drew the attention of the Senate to what he described as resurgence of bandits' attack in Barkin Ladi, Jos South, Riom and Mangu local government areas of Plateau State, which has caused the death of some persons in the last 2 weeks.
I would be using this opportunity to ask for the reinforcement of security and their presence in the affected communities in Plateau State.
Security situation in some parts of the country have started to deteriorate, but I think our security agencies, the military, have done very good job of improving the security situation across the country.
Senate has passed the 2023 FCT budget of 579.6 billion naira. The repeal and reenactment bill of the Explosives Act and the Nigerian Data Protection Bill were also passed. The bill that seeks to provide for strict implementation of the National Assembly recommendations on the annual Federal Audit Report, sponsored by Senator Matthew Orogide, passed second reading.
With emphasis on completion of ongoing projects in the Federal Capital Territory.
And I believe that internally generated funds should be one of the major ways that the FCT can address that challenge.
Ahead of the pronouncement of sentence by the British court in the case of Ike Ekweremadu, Senate has called on the British government to temper justice with mercy.
That since this matter was novel in the United Kingdom, that a novel approach in sentencing of the convicts be adopted by tempering justice with mercy.
We are not quarreling, but we are seeking clemency in the sentencing, because this is the first time that our colleague, a patriot, a great man, a great leader, a very peaceful man, is getting involved in this kind of thing.
Meanwhile, Senate has commenced investigation into alleged unremitted 6 trillion naira ground rate to the federal government. The Senate Ad hoc Committee on the Recovery of the Funds was at the Ministry of Works and Housing on fact-finding.
They explained to us how much has been collected. So far we had close to 18 billion naira, and efforts have been made to collect the remaining ones. Within the next 2 to 3 weeks, we'll come back for an update.
This is sequel to the resolution of Senate at plenary of 29 March 2023, which constituted the committee to carry out a comprehensive investigation on the matter. From the National Assembly, Ignatius Nkwo, NTA News.
Still from the National Assembly, it is set to transmit to President Muhammadu Buhari for assent the 5th Constitution Alteration Bill number 20, which seeks uniformity on retirement age and pensions rights for judicial officers. The changes are in favor of judicial officers in both the federal and state public service. National Assembly correspondent Lami Ali reports.
The bill provides that judicial officers as the Supreme Court and the Court of Appeal may retire at the age of 65 but should cease to hold office upon attaining 70 years. The passage of the bill was made possible by endorsements from state houses of assembly.
This is one of the landmark achievements that is going to give good service to our nation. And we still have one other alteration that is important. I believe if they give us a positive response, we'll be able to have the alteration in favor of local government autonomy.
Speakers represented them. We met with them, and they all unanimously agreed to this provision. So delaying their forwarding their resolution is not in line with gentleman agreement as agreed with them.
Among 3 bills that passed second reading during plenary is the 502 billion naira FCT budget bill for 2023. Meanwhile, the House considered and approved reports on 7 bills, including the one seeking the establishment of a council for traditional, complementary and alternative medicine in Nigeria. The House has set up an ad hoc committee to investigate discrepancies in the metering policy of some electricity distribution companies, sequel to a motion from Roland Igbakpa.
Benin Electricity Distribution Company now imposes maximum demand meters and billing system on domestic end users, whereby clusters of communities and individual consumers are billed under a single meter, so that if a singular end user in the loop defaults in payment of their bill, the entire cluster of users are then disconnected.
In another development, House Committee on the Federal Road Safety Corps engaged officials on measures relating to risks and safety management on Nigerian roads.
Apart from crashes, there has been an increase in criminal activities along our highways in the form of banditry and kidnapping for ransom.
We also embark on aerial surveillance of the highway, but you know, aerial surveillance is quite expensive.
I think the major problem we have now in this country is the issue of our emotional stability. You have an officer running after an offender, chasing him. It's another way of endangering people's life.
The committee said improved safety management will reduce carnage on the highways. From the National Assembly, Lami Ali, NTA News.
Leadership of the National Assembly, the minority caucuses of the House of Representatives, comprising returning and newly elected members of opposition political parties, have resolved to select from within the caucuses candidates to vie for the offices of the Speaker and Deputy Speaker of 10th Assembly. An 11-man committee is being set up to drive this agenda and scout for credible persons to contest the offices of presiding officers. The caucuses observed that being in the greater majority with more than 118 members, the coalition will ensure unity and progress in the next dispensation.
By reason of what the Nigerian voters expect from us to strengthen governance, to make a difference
to this unity, to this progress, to this understanding that we shall work together to deliver.
The minority caucus has membership drawn from 7 political parties. Ahead of the inauguration of the 10th National Assembly of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, and members in the House of Representatives have held a joint meeting with a resolve to work towards a vibrant assembly. National Assembly correspondent Rina Obasi has details.
The reason for the interactive meeting is not far-fetched, as both serving members and members-elect were present to discuss on vital issues that border on the party's interest in the incoming 10th Assembly. For the members-elect, it was a good opportunity to re-emphasize their loyalty to the party, while promising to give the right leadership in the incoming Assembly.
And we want to assure you that in the 10th Assembly, we must make our presence felt.
We respect the party, and we hope we get the right guidance from the party towards the next leadership of the House.
We are building up our strength. We believe that the House is a serious business, and we want to promise you that we'll make it very serious.
As faithful members of the party, we will not be found wanting in the course of this exercise that will lead to the inauguration of the 10th House of Representatives by 13th of June.
I will continue to leverage on the wisdom that is going to be provided to us by the party. Indeed, we are proudly PDP members.
The convener of the meeting, Fred Abadi, says the meeting is necessary for members to familiarize and articulate how best to carry out their legislative roles.
We believe that it's important we call ourselves together, also invite our chairman and members of the working committee to come and tete-a-tete with us, guide us, advise us, direct us where necessary as we journey to the 13th of June 2023.
Addressing the members, Acting National Chairman Umaru Iliya Damagun reminded them of the task ahead of ensuring an effective opposition for good governance to thrive.
You've done well. I've interacted with some of your leaders towards build up to this gathering, and I don't expect any PDP member to be less in terms of that acumen and capacity.
The interaction continued behind closed doors. In Abuja, Rina Obasi, NTA News.
And the leader of the House of Representatives, Alhassan Dogwa, has joined the League of Elected Lawmakers vying for the speakership position of the House in the 10th Assembly. National Assembly correspondent Dayo Ogunshola reports that the House leader premised his aspiration on robust legislative experience and capacity.
Declare my intention to serve as next Speaker of the House of Representatives in the 10th National Assembly, and I so declare.
That declaration adds to the list of the intending members of the House of Representatives jostling to be Speaker in the 10th Assembly. Alhassan Dogwa says actualizing his aspiration will be subjected to the dictates of his party.
That because of my absolute loyalty to the party, the APC, and my unflinching respect for the party's supremacy, my ambition will be predicated only on the condition that the party zones the speakership position to the Northwest Zone, which is my immediate political constituency.
The leader, House of Representatives, believes that when leadership position beckons, experience and capacity should be considered as key.
I believe that as a seasoned legislator and I am uniquely positioned to unite and stabilize the House, while creating an avenue for all actors to play vital and critical roles to stabilize the polity. I am determined to work according to the principle of checks and balances among all sectors to ensure that the House conducts its business for the people and by the people's representatives.
Representatives of various interest groups attended the declaration. In Abuja, Dayo Ogunshola, NTA News.
Still to come, Catholic Women Organization honors some outstanding women in the church. Details of this and more after this timeout.
NTA Parliament is a dedicated 24-hour channel that broadcasts the activities of the Nigerian Senate, Federal House of Representatives, and all the 36 state houses of assembly. NTA Parliament, strengthening Nigeria's democracy.
Welcome back. You're on to Parliamentary News on NTA Parliament, coming to you from the capital city of Nigeria, the FCT. Now to northeast Nigeria, Bauchi State House of Assembly has passed a consolidated budget estimate of over 65 billion naira for the 2023 fiscal year for the 20 local government councils of the state. Correspondent Muazu Hassan completes that report.
Out of the 65.8 billion naira consolidated budget estimate for the 2023 fiscal year of the 20 local government council in Bauchi State, 53.8 billion naira covers recurrent expenditures, while capital expenditures take 12 billion naira. Under the three sectorial allocation from the capital expenditures, economic takes the highest of 6.4 billion naira, and the least of 2.3 billion naira goes to administration, while social sector received 3.3 billion naira. The House observes that the ratio of the recurrent to capital expenditure stands at 82:12, which shows priority was given to recurrent estimate against capital project, hence detrimental to socio-economic development of the 20 local government councils.
Assembly considers and approves that the sum of 65 billion 812 million 673,656 naira is approved for the 20 local government as the 2023 consolidated proposed budget estimate of the 20 local government. Any objection to that?
During the plenary, the House passed two bills which seek to amend the law that provide for the establishment of Bauchi State Primary Healthcare Development Agency and other related matters. In Bauchi, Muaz Hassan, NTA News.
And from southwest Nigeria comes the report that 3 bills have passed for third reading at the Oyo State House of Assembly. Correspondent Oyeyinka Omole has details.
Considered for third reading at the sitting are Oyo State Primary Healthcare Board Further Amendment Bill 2022, Haulage Tax Amendment Bill 2023, and Control of Commercial Motorcycles Further Amendment Bill 2019. 5 clauses were amended in the Haulage Tax Bill. The Primary Healthcare Board Bill sought for the approval of the House on modalities for the appointment of chairman and part-time members of the board in its 9 clauses, while Control of Commercial Motorcycles Bill recommended downward review of fines imposed on offenders due to the economic reality of the country and the need to have rider permits for adequate data of motorcyclists in the state. After the adoption of the committee's reports on the amendment bills and clause-by-clause consideration by the committee of the whole House, the bills were read the third time.
Having bogus fine on offenders will just give the opportunity of people going through the backyard in order to settle themselves out of what the law says.
The House is expected to reconvene on Thursday, 4th May 2023. In Ibadan, Oyeyinka Omole, NTA News.
And now to religious matters. As part of activities to celebrate this year's Mother's Day, the Catholic Women Organization of Sacred Heart Parish in Mbise local government area of Imo State has conferred on Mrs. Elizabeth Obasi and other distinguished women the title of Ezine. Kate Osunwa has the report.
Mother's Day in the Catholic Church is an annual event to reflect and appreciate the mothers for the core roles they play in building their families, the church, and the society. This year's Mother's Day celebration at the Sacred Heart Parish Umumbri in Ahia's Mbise local government area of Imo State offered the church the opportunity to also honor some women for their track record in the church and the society at large. Among those awarded with the Ezine title is Elizabeth Obasi for her commitment towards the propagation of the gospel. Her husband, children, friends, and well-wishers, among whom is NTA's Reign Obasi, described the honor done on her as well-deserving.
I want to thank God today that my mom is alive to witness a day like this. The award given to her today is well-deserving.
I am happy for her, for the church, the CWO, to recognize her and give her that honor.
We found her worthy, both her character, her age, wealth.
Already supported that somebody like Elizabeth Obasi will be called Ezine this day of 16th day of April.
We remain ever grateful to God. I will regard her as one of those who is worthy to be honored with this award.
Ezine title given to Elizabeth today, she merited it.
Ezine Elizabeth Obasi later engaged in treasure hunt set by her children to demonstrate their love for caring for the family.
Today is the day of the joy to me. I remember me, the time I waited.
In Owerri, Kate Osunwa, NTA News.
And that concludes the bulletin at this time. Many thanks for joining us. Remember to follow us on our social media handles scrolling on your screen. Join NTA in the fight against rape and rapists. I am Vivian Itekwefo. Good evening.